Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Tom here, T&BH Gaming. Welcome back to Railroader, guys. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday, working through the tutorial. So let's go here and return to the game. Just jump out of our view here. So, working through the tutorial last episode. Sorry guys, I had to cough there a minute. But working through the last episode, we spotted our coal car so it can be picked up, and it is on the exchange track, and it will be let's get rid of that. So we can see it's spotted on the East Whittier interchange, and it's going to the Carolina Fuel Company to be filled up with coal. And the caboose is spotted on the East Whittier interchange. It's being sold. Let's make sure we got that equipment and sell destination. So it'll be sold, and we will receive $3,750 for the caboose, because at this point in the game, I don't know if I mentioned yesterday on the last episode, guys, this is an early access game. There's things in the game that will change, I'm sure. Probably new engines, maybe some of the engines will change. It's all, you know, up to the devs. They're just trying to make it better and better. And some of the towns we come to, you'll just see a depot. There won't be much else there. They're going to add the buildings and industry buildings to those towns, I'm sure, at a later time. So if you'll read the intro into the game when you first load the game up, it'll tell you about early access, how it's early access, and what the plans are. And I encourage you to join the Railroader Discord channel, and so you can keep up with what's going on. Sorry about that, guys. My scanner going off. That's actually my ham radio, but it's scanning the police channels. But we hooked up to this passenger train, and according to our tutorial, we are supposed to, with the passenger car coupled and the brake line full, release the brakes, set the reverser to forward, ring the bell, blow the whistle twice, and throttle up. Close the throttle as you approach your desired speed. If you're going too fast, apply a little train brake. If you're going much too fast, apply a lot. Fully release the train brake and continue. Follow the yard lead to the west, past the sawmill, and come out onto the main line, which leads to downtown Whittier. It is just under a mile to the station, which is immediately after the red water tower. Keep an eye out for the little white and black W whistle signs. These are a reminder that a road crossing is ahead. Blow the whistle for a long crossing. Blow the whistle for the crossing with a long, long, short, long. Stop the train so that the coach is in line with the station. You can stop on either track. One whistle blast signifies that you're stopped. All right, guys. So let's do what they said. We're going to first, we have to bring up our inspector here, and then we have to hit select to bring up our controls, and then we're going to hit follow so that we follow the train. And let's take off, guys. So brakes off, reverser forward, train taking off. Bell gone. So all we have to do, guys, we have to make sure, oh, wrong one. We got to make sure that all of these are These are reversed, so they won't matter. They won't matter. They won't matter. This one matters, and it's in good condition, so we shouldn't have to worry about that one. Right now, we're going to stay under 15 because we're in the yard. Stay around 15 mile an hour in the yard here. Actually go to the front of the train. We are in the front of the train. Well, we're down to 14. Let's give it a little juice. We're at 14.9 is good. Fixing to come out onto the main where we can goose it up a little bit. All right. Now we can go up to 35 unless we hit a 25 mile an hour curve. Check this one to make sure it's right. It is. I'm going to leave it right there about 32 because we are. All right, let's blow the whistle. We're coming into the station, guys. We're going to slow down and stop right here in front of the station. Not sure why that didn't show brake. I want to do something here. I want to do that and that. And then maybe that thing will show brake next time. Well, that's why it didn't show brake, because I had to brake off. Okay. So let's go see what was next. Oh, I got one whistle for being stopped. Hover your mouse over the station agent window. There it is. You'll see there are several passengers are traveling to Ella, which is good because that's where this coach is heading. Control click on the passenger car to open its inspector. So we control click on a passenger car, open the inspector down here. To inspect on the passengers tab, check the box next to Ella. This tells the passengers where this coach is headed, and passengers for Ella will now be boarding. Once you have enough passengers, whistle off and proceed to Ella, just over 2 miles west. Ella or Ela, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, is milepost 59.8. Whittier Station is 57.5. Keep it under 30 for this trip. We'll have a few words about speed limits next. Alrighty, so we'll get rid of that. So we have 18 passengers, and if you click on that, it will show you that 18 passengers are going to Ella Station. And this is your freight, and there's no freight right now. So we're going to click on Ella, and the passengers will start loading. So we now have 4, 6, 7, 9. And then you'll see the passengers are going down on this. So 7, 6. So all the passengers are leaving. Alrighty. Should have all the passengers on the train. We'll click out of that window. And we're going to give the bell 2 whistles. And off we go. About 12 miles an hour out of the yard. They said to keep it under 30, so we're gonna get up to about 30. .4, 29.5, 29.8, 29.9, 30. .2. 29.8. We're trying to find a happy spot here, guys, where your speed won't go down or up. That's 20 going back up, so let's go back down. .1, 30.2. Let's give it a little more break. It's 29 miles an hour. And I believe, if we look at the map, the reason they said to keep it under 30 was because of this 30 mile an hour curve coming up here. Bring up our speed limit here and say next. Okay, railroader doesn't enforce strict speed limits, but going above the speed limit on curves can damage. Let's watch our speed going down. Alright. Curves can damage your equipment, as well as potentially cause the train to derail at excessive speeds. So it's a good idea to start out slow as you're learning the railroad. The tighter the curve or switch, the lower the speed. You must maintain most of the main line is good at 35 miles an hour, except where noted by yellow speed signs. These signs give you much warning. However, These signs do not give you much warning, however, so check the map or look around as you're learning the railroad. Mainline siding switches are good for 25 mile an hour or better. Yard, industrial, and branch switches should be treated as 15 mile an hour. The main line between Whittier and Ella is good for 35 mile an hour, though there is one sharp curve that needs to be taken at 30. So we just took that curve, so we're good, so we can go back up. Going back up. So next, Ella has a small station that is one single track and a siding and other tracks beyond it. A white black S sign tells you that you're close to the station. And I don't know if I've seen that or not yet, but we should be coming into the station. So as you arrive at Ella, stop with your coach aligned with the station. And there it is. I think we're going to miss it. We are going to miss it. Nope, they're departing. Okay, so the passengers are departing. Okay, align with the station. Your passengers will automatically begin to disembark once they are fully stopped. Once you are fully stopped, when I forgot to whistle. Open the inspector passenger panel coach and check Whittier, but leave the Ella checkbox checked. It will be unchecked automatically once you disembark. So we have to open the inspector and get to Whittier, and we received $21 for 21 fares. I want the inspector panel in Whittier, but leave the Ella checkbox checked. It will be checked. Okay, it says leave it checked. Okay. It will be unchecked automatically once they have all disembarked. Okay, so it did. It unchecked itself. Okay, next. Open the passenger window. You have disembarked. Once the passengers have disembarked, be paid for their fares, about $1 each. Okay. A message in the upper left hand announces this. If you missed it, you can hit tide back tick. Eli station received passenger fare $21. Okay. To open the console and review the recent messages. You can also type here to send messages in multiplayer. The console is accessible via the buttons in the upper right hand corner. Right here. So this is your console right there. This is your, alright, so we'll go over these buttons. The first one is tutorial. The second one is the console. The third one is the company window. It looks like that. You have the railroad. This is our daily report. The West Hickory and Tennessee Railroad daily report. New contracts, tier 1, none in effect. We don't have any tier 1 contracts. We're going to go over that in a little bit, guys. Phase costs, we're not doing any phases yet. We'll go over that in a little bit. Equipment costs and repair costs. This will update at the end of the day. You can go to your locations. So this is all the locations that we have on the map right now. Conley Creek is a logging camp up just north of Whittier, and it has this is where, okay, so L1, it tells you, if you hover over it, it tells you how far it is. It's 2.4 miles southeast of here. And then 2.4 miles southeast. So, excuse me, guys. But it tells you L1 produces 12 cars of logs per day. P1 produces 5 cars of pulpwood per day. L2 produces 12 cars of logwood per day, and 5, and then P3 and P4 produce 20 cars of pulpwood per day. And then it shows you this is the East Whittier Engine Company. So right now we're still at 23 hours to complete the repairs on engine 2, or engine 3. Which one is it? Engine 3. So to repair engine 3, then you have the East Whittier repair track and the coal loader. The interchange, East Whittier interchange, to Carolina Fuel Company. So that interchange right now is the interchange with the A1 rail companies. They will drop off there and pick up empties or loaded, and drop off empties or loaded for the Ella and Whittier right now, because that's all we have. You have Holyfield Oil, that's back at Whittier. There's a spur track for Holyfield Oil or Hollyfield Oil. Here's the Tier 1 contract. We'll get into that later. You have Stenzel Manufacturing. It is also back there in Ella, downtown Ella. There's a spur for that, and they have a Tier 1 contract waiting for us. And then you have Whittier Depot. That's the passenger station, and then Whittier House Track. We will sometimes get freight at the interchange that needs to go to the house track, and that's just a spur where they'll come and they'll swap out and get their stuff, and then either fill up or empty a container, and then we'll have to or a rail car, and then we'll have to take it back to the exchange. And then you have the Whittier Sawmill, which has a Tier 1 contract, and R1 is the track that we put the logs on, and SO1 and SO2 is the sawmill's spur that they put their finished goods on that we take to the and it has a Tier 1 contract, which we take their loaded, we bring them empties and they'll load them with product, and then we take it back to the interchange to be interchanged with empties. Excuse me. And then we have Ella Farm Supply, which let me move these and back out here so we can see. Put this up here, out of here. So we have Ella Farm Supply, which you can see is right over there to the right. You see that highlighted track over there? That's Ella Farm Supply. That's where we will bring containers. They have a Tier 1 contract, so once we click on that contract, we'll be contracted to bring them either empty containers or full containers to their spur that is right behind the Ella House. That's Ella House right here, and we will be bringing them stuff too. And here's the Ella station. So this is the station right here, and that's all the locations we have now. This is the milestone, guys. Repair Ella Track Bridge. That's the first milestone we'll do, and then we'll build a fueling stand at East Whittier, and then we'll purchase the track to Silva. I'm going to wait on purchasing the track to Silva, guys, until we do some of this other stuff, because that's a long run. Because once we purchase that track to Silva, our interchange will go from East Whittier to the Silva interchange, and then we'll have to run everything from Silva all the way up here to East Whittier. So for right now, until we get the Ella Bridge track done, we're going to leave the interchange right there in Whittier. And then of course you have your finance window, guys. This is where you can take out loans, and it also tells what you do. So passenger to Ella Station gave us $21, which brought our balance to $50.21. At the beginning, opening balance of the game, we had $5,000, so we made $21 today. But we're going to run some more passengers back to Whittier and see if we can make some more money. And this is our equipment window. Shows you what equipment we have. We have the WHTR1 T17 10-wheeler, the WHTR2, the G16 Mogul, and then we have the WHTR 250 Pullman 1900 open coach. Sorry, guys. And then we have the caboose, the WHTR 100 early wooden caboose, which we are fixing to sell. So, It doesn't show on here, but we also have 12 cars of logging cars that should be in the logging spur next to the sawmill, but we haven't hooked up to them yet, so that's later on down the line. Guys, this shows your employees, and right now there's only one, me, and I am the president. You can have a president, officer, a train master, a dispatcher, a crew, a passenger, or band. I am the president, and since 12/14/2023 at 1:24:50 a.m. So that's when we started. There's my Steam ID and my Steam name, guys. Then we have crews. This is the crews you have. We set up for each, like you can have a crew that works on the logging train, a crew that works on the passenger train, a crew that works on the freight trains. It all depends. You set your crews up by hitting the create button here, and then train crew empty. So then you would give the train crew a name right there, and you hit create. And then this is your settings window, guys, where you have the time where you can wait. You can click on this, and an hour will pass. And then you click on this one, and you sleep. Let time pass until the first scheduled interchange service the next day. So when you do that, then you will wake up at 6 a.m. And like I said, this is just to wait 1 hour. So with that said, let's get back out of here, get back to our tutorial. Okay, once the passengers have disembarked and paid $1 each minute, okay. The console is also accessible via the button to the top right hand corner. Passenger service isn't particularly profitable, especially for short distances like this, but longer distances fares pay better. Plus, I think for longer distances, like from Bryson to Silva, I think you get $2 per passenger. Plus, providing daily passenger service will increase your railroad's reputation, which leads to other benefits. If you want work that pays well, you'll want to run freight. While we let the passengers load here at Ella, let's consider our freight options. So the passengers have already loaded, so we're just waiting. So contract and compulsory. All right, so here's where it's going to explain the contracts to you, everybody. Here at Ella, there is 2 different types of freight customers. Ella House contract, which that's Ella House right there, is a compulsory freight service. Compulsory freight is part of your railroad's basic presence in the towns it passes through, and serves customers in the area that don't have their own siding. So that we bring freight to Ella House, and they unload it into Ella House, and then it's people come get their freight from Ella House. So if it's somebody who doesn't have the money to buy their own siding or have their own siding, this is how they get their freight. Over the next few days, you will begin to receive such cars for the Ella House and Whittier House tracks. Other examples are freight houses and team tracks. Ella Farm Supply is an example of a contract freight service, which is how most customers operate. Contracts are set at a specific tier. Each higher tier brings more traffic, and at the upper tiers, rewards. Contracts have a duration from a few days to a few weeks and are available at different tiers. The tiers that are available to you depend on the past performance for your customers, as well as your railroad's reputation. Cars for these types of freight are owned by other railroads. The waybills are assigned automatically and cannot be changed. Sorry guys, that phone keeps going off. Let me fix that real quick. I can just turn the sound down on it. Leave it on vibrate. Okay. Cars of these types are freight are owned by other customers. Yeah, it cannot be changed. Note that cars delivered in poor condition pay less. Okay, next. First contract. Open the company window with I and change to the Locations tab. and find the Ella House track listed under Ella House Station, Ella House track, Ella House ER1. Okay, so that's that one that's directly ahead of us, just a little to the right. Okay, you can click on the locations icon next to the track to zoom the overhead camera to the track. Okay, so if I click on this little thing here, boom, it'll put me right there at the track. And there's the track, guys. Check out the Ella Supply Farm and Whittier Stenzel Manufacturing and Holyfield Heating Oil. Any of these would be great first contracts to take. Save Whittier Sawmill for after you've learned about captive services. You can take as many contracts as you'd like. At the end of the contract term, you can choose not to renew it, or if you deliver the cars in a timely manner, you'll be offered the option of taking a higher tier. Take 2 or 3 contracts by clicking the tier 1 but on the button on the location panel for the customer you want. Next, let's get our passengers back to Whittier. Before you return to Whittier, you will want to run around the passenger car. A runaround is railroad lingo for moving the engine from one end of the train to the other using a passing track, thus running around it. Past the first switch in Ella, uncouple from the coach and use the siding to run around to the other side of the coach. Couple onto the coach and connect the brake line. While you're near the Ella station building, click on the agent window. Notice there are 2 labels, passenger and freight. The freight side shows what cars in the area have a unfulfilled waybill, including those on your train. By creating and joining the train crew, you can manage a switch list to help you keep track of your work. This topic is outside the scope of this tutorial, however. When you're ready, whistle off and let's head back to Whittier. Tender first, lean out the window with EQ or get a better view, or use the overhead camera tracking the engine with 0. Alright, so let's go to Ella Station again. Ella Farmhouse. Oh yeah, I had the tier 1. Let's take that tier 1 contract. Tier 1 available at higher tiers. Bonuses available at higher tiers. Performance not yet reported. Expires in 3 days and 11 hours. So they said save Whittier Sawmill. Let's go to Stenzel Manufacturing. We're going to take that one. It's also viable. And we're also going to take the Holyfield Heating and Oil. And then there's nothing at the Whittier Exchange. Okay, Colony Creek. Okay, so we're going to get out of here, guys, and we're going to head back to passengers loaded. So I got to push this forward. So push forward past the switch. We'll flip the switch, and then we're going to uncouple. Let's shift, disconnect, glad hands, disconnect that. Then we're going to let off our brake, put it in reverse, and back past the switch. and brake. And then flip the switch again, and that'll put the track going that way. So, and we're going to run around to the other side. So let's go ahead and go forward. And I forgot to whistle when I backed up, so bell. Going past a crossing, so we had to long, short, long whenever you go past a crossing. And we want to stay right about 15. So I'm going to cut this back. Give it a little bit of brake. Slow it down a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of brake. And we're going to go past this switch up here, guys, and then we're going to flip it and throw it. Throw the switch. I keep saying flip, it's actually throw. We're going to throw the switch, and then we're going to back up to the train. And you've seen the switch flip by itself because it's a reverse switch, and we are going with this train. These are considered spring switches, so it'll spring. It's supposed to spring over and come back, but it didn't. So we're going to throw the switch, and then we are going to cut our brake. We're going to reverse, bell, and whistle. 3 short whistles means you're backing up. Get rid of the bell now. And we're going to back up into the passenger car here. And so we're going to get up to about 15 mile an hour, well, maybe. We're doing 12. We might get up 15 by the time we get there. But I don't want to get up too much because we're going to have to stop. And you don't want to hit the passenger car. When you're coupling to any car, you should do it less than 5 miles an hour. Me, personally, if I'm coupling to a passenger car, especially when it's got passengers on it, I don't want to hit it at more than maybe 1 mile an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and I'm going to pull on the brake, get a little speed off of this thing. Get our long whistle there. Let off, get a little closer, and then a little more speed off. So I'm about 1.5 miles an hour. That should be perfect. By the time it couples, it should be 1. Yep. Perfect. Perfect. You don't want to any more than that. And we can connect the couplers, and now we're ready to go back to East Whittier, or to West Whittier is where the depot is, but we're going back to Whittier. So let's hit our bell, sound our horn. We're going to start backward, and this switch back here should switch automatically when we come into it, guys. Watch the switch, and it threw automatically. because it's a reverse switch, and we can do that with this train. Now, keep in mind, we're going to learn about AI driving later on, and AI driving is different. It does not switch like that. It will not switch like that. You cannot drive, the AI driver will not drive through a reverse switch that's thrown against him. So when you're running AI trains, guys, make sure all your switches are aligned like they like they should be. I can get rid of the bell. So we're going to go to Whittier, back to Whittier. So let's go ahead and get our speed up here as much as we can. Bring our reverser back closer to neutral. There's neutral, boom. And that should get our speed up. And remember, we got a 30-mile-an-hour curve up here, which is right there. There should be a sign that says 30 mile an hour. Sorry guys, taking a drink. And we're getting up there now, so I'm going to bring this back just a little bit. Let it climb slowly. A little bit more. As long as it's climbing. A little bit more. Still climbing. A little bit more. Well, let's say we got it right there holding at 29 mile an hour. That ought to be nice. Just fine. So are we in the 30 mile an hour? We're coming up on it. So as long as we're doing 29, see now we're doing 28, 27. I think that's only because we're going on a curve. So here you'll see the sign right here, 30. Tells you that you shouldn't be over 30 mile an hour. But we're going to flick that back up because we're only doing 26. And we're still losing speed. So we'll go back up. Keep it up. All right, starting to climb back up, guys. So it's the other end of it, 30. So that's the other end. So now we are out. So now we can raise this up and try to get back up to 35. Remember, they said 35 was good between Ella and Whittier, as long as it wasn't in that 30 mile an hour curve. So this may never get up to 35 before we get back to Whittier, but we'll see what happens. So we have the tier 1 contracts that I took when we were at the Ella station, guys. So on the next interchange, we will get freight cars to deliver, and that's where we're going to make our money. Not running passengers unless you're going to run them long distance. We're above 35. We need to come down a little bit. Try to get something to hold the speed. Right around there looks good. Looks like it's holding 34.5. Slow down a little bit because of that curve. Should hold right there. Could give it 58. See if it'll pick up. Let me see. I think these are the controls. Nope, that's for the brake. I don't want to do that one. Oh, this was the speed control. Yeah. So now see we're going up a little bit. We'll bring it back one more. Going up. Now we're going back down. And we're coming into East Whittier, so we're going to have to slow down a lot. We need to slow down to about 15 mile an hour. Let's give it a little break. About 25 mile an hour is good. We'll just continue to let it slow down a little bit as it's coming around. I like to give a whistle blow when I'm coming into town. And you see this spur off to the left here, guys. That is the Ella house track. That's where we'll be bringing them containers that they were talking about for the Ella house. I think that was called the compulsory. Okay, so we're coming in, so let's go ahead and bleed off some brake here to try to stop right in front of the let it roll on in. One whistle shows that I'm done, and they should be unloading, and they are. So go to our thing. It says, as you return to Whittier, make your station stop and cut off from the coach. We'll leave it here at the station for tomorrow morning. Pull ahead to the water tower and top off your water. Wait a minute. Oh, I was on the wrong side of the engine, guys. I should have been on the other side of the engine. Alright, so I'll run around it. So I'm going to cut off the coach. First I'm going to apply the brake right there. And disconnect. And then we're going to run forward. Which means we're going to run all the way to the end of this track, guys. I was on the wrong side of the train at the beginning of this thing, so should have been on the other side of it. So you see how you can control the speed with the reverser too? If I pull it back a little bit, and lets more speed in. So forward is less speed. We're coming up on the switch here, so I'm going to bring my speed, shut it completely down, bring a reverser forward, and we can slow down with we don't need to use the train brake, we can use just the independent brake to slow because it's just the engine. We'll start slowing down. And we're going to throw this switch. I'm going to back up a little bit so you guys can see. We're through the switch. Now we can reverse it and get on the other side of that engine. We got the bell. Bell can go off. We see we're at 100%, so let's bring our reverser back to almost neutral so we can pick up more speed. Oh, it's in neutral. There we go. And pick up more speed. You don't want to be in neutral, you want to be just above the neutral area. There, it's picked up enough speed. We'll let off our come back up just a little bit. Still losing speed. Now we're going to take it off anyway because we're going to slow down a little bit. And here we go, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Get ready to toot our horn because we're going to come across the crossing. There we are at 15. Ready to cross our crossing there, guys. We're going to come out here. We're going to come out back on the main. We're going to pull up here and get some water. We should have been on that side of the passenger car anyway. We could have just unhooked and backed up. So, all right. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to hit this brake. We've got enough brake to stop, and we're going to hit the switch to switch it back around, and then we're going to go forward, guys. And I like to pull up here next to the station, or next to the tower, and I'm going to drop the spout, break off that. We're doing about 15, and I like to be in line with the tower because it makes it easier to line the car up. Still only moving just a little bit, but not real fast. We can click on the hatch to open it. And now I'm just watching this, guys. I'm going to put my brake on. As soon as it gets right there, I'm going to stop. And it'll start filling it up. So we are at, ooh, I almost knocked my drink over. We are at 3,000 gallons. So we're going to fill up with water. And it said we're almost done. So it's filled up with water right there. So okay, not bad for the first day. In the company window settings tab under time, you can click sleep button, and this will let time pass, during which customers and repair tracks will toil away the hours, though the trains won't move any faster during this time. Shortly after 6 a.m. you will receive a notification that East Whittier Exchange has been served. Proceed to the interchange, that's the yard just beyond the engine shed, and see what cars await. Use tab or the inspector to see their destinations. Your first priority should be putting the coal hopper in place behind the coal conveyor. After that, you will want to deliver your customer cars and take passengers' cars with you to Ella and a regular mixed train daily. Where to from here? Whittier and Ella are happy to have a railroad back. Okay, we'll read that tomorrow, guys. So that's it for today, guys. We're going to call it here, and tomorrow our next episode, we will advance time and move on to the next day, which would be day 2, and then we will go pick up our freight cars and start delivering our freight, and then pick up our passenger car and run some more passengers from Whittier to Ella, and move on and learn some more about our railroad. So that's it for today, guys, and as always, be kind to each other, love each other. God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.